Hello Sagittarius, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider hitting the subscribe button, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general message, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we're beginning with the Four of Cups. Now, to me, the Four of Cups is generally that's a card of emotional stability, but it kind of feels like we've just gotten out of a storm. Okay, feels like we have found a kind of safe harbor, a safe cove out on the ocean somewhere next to an island or whatever, where we can drop anchor and we can regroup. Okay, that we're checking the boat for holes, we're checking the sails for tears, we're making sure everything's okay before we continue on our journey. Okay, so to me this feels like we're regrouping. Feels like we are we're trying to catch our breath after something. We're trying to let our heart rate kind of go down, our blood pressure. We're trying to let the the nervous system sort of to relax again. Yeah. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, because we don't know much without context, right? So we've got the Seven of Pentacles. We've got a Knight of Wands. You have a Three of Swords behind you. Yeah, so that would be the storm, yeah. We've got a Five of Pentacles up above, but a Three of Cups in the future position. Look at that. Very nice. What's on the path of the Serpent? The Star. The Three of Pentacles, the Adjustment card, and a Princess of Swords. I think this is very, very positive. I feel like there's good news on its way. I feel like very important news here. That the failure because that's a Seven of Pentacles, okay? It is a card of failure. It's the little f, failure. This is the obstacle. This is kind of saying, like, I was trying to do something, and I made a mistake. I made an error, something didn't work. And really, we either learn from it or we allow it to affect us in a much deeper way. Getting out of the storm here is really this idea of not that we're running away from the trouble. We're not running away from the problem, okay? But we're not so closely identifying with this Seven of Pentacles that we begin to feel like we're the failure. Okay? So I think that that's what you've moved away from. And you've stabilized, you've regrouped, and you're looking at the problem, and you are learning and adapting and growing, and you're going to find a new way in. This was a door that you tried to open, and back here, yeah, it's kind of saying that there's a tendency for us to take it personally, which is, well, how can we not? I tend to always have an issue when people say it's not business, it's personal. It's like, well, but yeah, but if it's affecting me, it's personal. Even if it's business, even if it's money, even if it's something else, it's still affecting me in a personal way. So I don't feel that there really is that separation of things. I think that when we meet with an obstacle, when we get to a door that we're having trouble opening, we can't help but feel something. It affects us emotionally, and I think it really, in some ways, it affects our perception of ourselves. So the Three of Swords in the background here. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. I set it down right here with Mr. Ed, our little horse right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Okay, we have a couple of majors here. We've got the Adjustment card and the Star. And this is really the name of the game. The message here is continue following your star. Continue chasing your dream, right? Running down the dream, right? Continue following your North Star. You may have to make some course corrections, some adjustments. You may have to find a new way to navigate this particular thing. But I think the important news here, well, first of all, it's not your fault. And the other important news is you're going to be happy. This is going to work. It's kind of like we have to stay positive rather than allowing the negativity to sort of, I hate to use the word trigger, but instead of using this current obstacle to remind us of all these other complexes that are kind of built into us, kind of activates a lot of other things, So we've got our two majors. We've got fire underneath. And this is we got to keep this fire lit. Okay, we got to keep this fire warm, hot, growing. Let's fuel this fire. Okay, we've got water and water. You've got a little bit of air at the end, and then we've got earth, 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 earth. A lot of these earth cards. Okay. Let's start with the Four of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like we have, we're trying to calm ourselves down emotionally. We're reaching this stable condition. We're regrouping, and we're looking at the door. We're looking at the failure. We're looking at something that we tried to do, it didn't work. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's we try to get the promotion, we try to solve a problem, we try to do the math homework. We threw some darts at the dartboard, and maybe they didn't hit the bullseye. Maybe they missed the dartboard altogether. It happens. So we're looking at that, and we're trying to be sort of we're trying to be even about it. We're trying to be sober-minded, level-headed, clear thinking about it. Okay, but it's not easy. Because this is something, well, of course we're going to take it personally. But the Four is kind of saying, I'm trying to be okay with it, and I'm trying to look at it a little bit more objectively. I'm trying not to take it personally, but of course we know that's not easy to do. We're looking at the problem, and if we look at it, we'll find the solution. So this is really, I think, a message, like I said, twofold. It's not your fault. Don't take it personally. Don't allow it to set off a cascade of kind of negative, low vibrational thoughts and feelings. Stay hopeful, stay optimistic, and continue to look at the problem from a position of, okay, what can I learn from this? Okay, because the Seven of Pentacles, yes, it's a card of failure. It's a card of saying, I tried to do something and it didn't work. Well, if I just go back to this and I do the same thing again, well, I'm going to get the same result. I haven't learned anything. If I walk away and I say, well, I don't care about this anymore, then we're then we're really like we're shooting ourselves in the foot, We're sabotaging ourselves in that way. And I think we're abandoning our star, we're abandoning our journey. So what choice do we have? Well, I can kind of pick myself up, dust myself off, dry my eyes a little bit, and I can look at it and try to figure out, what do I need to change about myself in order to get through this obstacle? What can I do differently? We can't change the door. We can't just say, suddenly I want the door to have a different lock mechanism that'll fit my key. No, it means I've got to shave some things off my key. I've got to chisel little things away from the teeth, right, of my key until it'll fit in the door and unlock the door. Okay, and that's the only thing we can do. We can bang on the door, we can kick the door, we can walk away and say, I don't care about the door anymore. We cannot expect the door to change or the lock to change to fit the key. The key has to change to fit the lock. Okay. And that's what the Princess of Swords is trying to do here. The fire underneath here. Okay. The Knight of Wands. This is This is the rushing forward. This is the never giving up energy. This is the almost compulsive approach, that we keep running back to the door and trying to open it. I think that we need this fire. Okay, we don't want to let this fire burn out. But we also, we can't just kind of run up to the door and bang our head into it. So sometimes we get frantic. Sometimes we get just carried away and we're just like shaking the door handle, banging on the door, and it's not really a good technique. Yeah. So we need the fire beneath. This is the fire kind of within you. We need this to stay burning bright. But at the same time, we have to be able to kind of temper it a little bit with, maybe with our discernment, with our adjustment card that says, okay, kicking the door isn't going to help. Just kind of barreling into it, running into it with my shoulder is not going to work. What do I need to adjust about my approach, about my technique, about how I'm dealing with this door? Yeah. And I don't know if it's a financial thing. It could be a work situation. It could be a relationship thing. But it's hard not to take it personally. We have a 5 of Pentacles up above here. There's worry here. There's something that it affects you personally. It's basically saying, if I don't get through this door, I'm going to be in kind of a tight spot, So we want what's on the other side of the door. We need this. There's a problem up here that we're looking at and we're thinking, if it weren't for this, I wouldn't care about the door. It wouldn't mean so much. I would say, oh, well, it didn't work. But this is something that's affecting you personally, affecting your livelihood, your income, something along those lines. Okay? The important news, again, is that this was not your fault. There's the 3 of Swords in the background here, to me, which is a feeling of... we're sort of constricting ourselves, right? I think we're being very hard on ourselves about this. This is the loss of hope. This is our hope, our optimism getting smaller and smaller and smaller until the light might kind of blink out. This, on the other hand, is a growing optimism, a growing hope. We see the potential here for greatness. The 3 of Swords is also a card of memory. It's a card of something happening in the present that is, in a way, reminding us energetically of something that happened in the past. Okay? And this is, I think, a complex. This is something that is, quote unquote, triggered in us. Okay? And it may be, I'm trying to think of the right analogy here. 1,000 people could tell you that you're doing a great job, right? And we'll say 999 people will tell you you're doing a great job. One person will say you suck. Yeah. And most of the time, it's one person, I don't care. Go through, keep doing what I'm doing, right? But then when we meet with that 7 of Pentacles, and we can't get past that door. We meet with the obstacle or the failure, or we make a mistake, or things aren't going our way exactly the way we need them to, whatever your case is. That one person out of 1,000 that told us we suck, that's the one that we're going to think, oh, they were right. That's our 3 of Swords. There is this tradition in human beings to really put more weight on the negative voice in our souls, in our heads, psychospiritually. We're putting more weight on the one negative voice rather than the 999 positive voices. Again, inside of us. I'm not saying that we are controlled or manipulated by the opinions of others. Okay, but maybe that's where this starts. Maybe this is a voice in our head that's for our parents or whoever raised us, or things that we experienced when we were kids. This goes way back in time. Okay, so it kind of feels like the situation now is in some way reflecting a situation that happened a long time ago, but for all intents and purposes, it's happening again right now. Right? The soul doesn't know, the body doesn't know past, present, future. Everything is just now. Everything is just happening. So when we relive past events, we're kind of re-injuring ourselves again. And I think that something's happening right now where it's kind of, it's having that effect. It's amplifying that one, and I'm just using that as an example, the one negative voice out of 1,000 that then we are putting way too much weight on, okay? And yes, we can't help but take that personally. And then we get really distraught by this obstacle or this difficulty or this challenge that's in front of us, this door that we can't seem to open because, well, we really need what's on the other side, okay? But the interesting thing is this Three of Swords is behind you. I feel like you've recognized that in yourself and you've regrouped, okay? I feel like this was a storm and I feel that we've regrouped and now we're looking at this problem from a more objective, detached even point of view. Okay, we're stabilizing our boat. We have equilibrium here, the ballasts, right, that we're able to stay afloat. I mean, the Four of Cups is a card that says, I'm okay. I'm not great, but there are no holes in the boat. Boat's not sinking, but I'm not sailing off to a party either. It's not a party boat. I'm just okay, And this is where we're sort of operating from. We're not in any heightened state of emotional arousal, right? We're just trying to be calm, level-headed. Yeah, and we're looking at the problem, and you're going to solve it. You're going to find your way through this because we've got 3 giving way to a 3. We have another 3. 3, 3, 3. Okay, but we have to understand how to chisel the key a little bit, how to file a little bit of the points down, a little bit of the teeth down so the key will fit in the lock. And the Five of Pentacles is showing us, yes, that on the other side of the door, so you could see the light kind of breaking through the crust of this card, yeah? So what's on the other side kind of wants to reach us. It's pushing this way, through the door to get to us, and we're just trying to figure out how to help that, how to facilitate that, how to unlock the door to make it easier for what's meant for us to reach us. Okay? Because what's on the other side of this is joy, happiness. It is satisfaction. It is whatever you're looking for right now, whatever it is that you need in this situation. It's on its way to you. There's an obstacle in front of it. And I think when it's pushing on the door and you're pushing on the door, there's, it's two equal forces that are kind of meeting in the middle. So we have to perhaps think of a different method. How do we remove the blockage? How do we change our approach? How do we learn and grow a little bit? Adjust our own behaviors to kind of allow that door to swing open and allow that thing to reach us. Okay. In your immediate future, I think this is happening very soon. 3 of Cups, celebration, appreciation, joy, the victory. This is the celebration after the victory. This is the card of friendship. This is the card of a toast, that we have succeeded and now we can pop the champagne or the apple cider. I don't drink, it'd be apple cider. We're popping bottles here. This is the great success, okay? This is that feeling of that. And I think that you need to keep this in mind, okay, as we're approaching this, as we're looking at this, but we also want to, we want to learn something from the storm that we just passed through. It's very interesting that you have the very beautiful, beautiful seas, right? Just wonderful weather. The sun is shining. The seas are calm like glass. This is just the beautiful day on the water. This is like, oh man, this is the worst storm I've ever seen on the seas, in my sailboat. But the obstacle is the way. Okay, you're going from the storm to then getting out of the storm, right? You can see the dark clouds in the background. We've gotten out of the storm. We're sailing toward the really sunny, beautiful day. So this progression, this is awesome. But we have to go through this middle period in order to get to that sunny day. As you put more distance between you and that storm, the weather's going to improve. But we have to keep moving forward. Okay, we have to keep moving forward. If we stay anchored where we are, the storm's going to catch up to us. Or another storm will form, or however you want to look at it. We have to keep moving forward, and we will get our beautiful day. Okay, that's the important news right here. Keep going. Keep going. It's not your fault. You're not to blame. Forgive and forget, whatever. Deal with the issue at hand by learning, adjusting your technique, adjusting your key, and figuring out how to move forward here. but don't get stuck. Okay, follow your star. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are free. The star is your general energy. I feel like you understand that this process, the tarot is always going to tell us how to become the very best magician that we can be. The magician is the one that can cause change in conformity with our will. I want this situation to harmonize. And then we wave our magic wand and it harmonizes, right? The star is the process that we have to go through in order to become that kind of magician that can say, here's what I want, here's what I will into the world, and then I'm allowing that energy to flow through me and out of my fingertips, and I'm able to do the work that's going to facilitate that with very little, if any, resistance. But first we have to let the starlight in, and the starlight will enter us, give us that sense of illumination inside of us, show us where our blockages are, shows us where those doors are that we need to open, our internal blockages, our knots of karma, our buttons, our sore spots, our weak spots, so that we can start working on those. And the more of that internal work we do, the more smoothly and clearly the light can be transmitted through us out into the world and create the world that we're looking for. Can turn the 5 of Pentacles into the 6. Right? This might be some money trouble. This might be something that's broken and needs fixing. This is what you're looking at. Okay? And I know this, everyone's getting tired of my broken toe analogy, but this is, the toe that's throbbing with pain, and it's the body's way of saying, look at the toe. And of course, it's my toe. How can I look at it objectively? How can I look at it detached? How can I not take it personally? It's my toe and it's throbbing, right? So it's kind of like we have to put aside the pain in order to address the issue, clear the blockage so that the light can continue to flow smoothly through us. And once we're able to get that light, phase 2 of the star card, that light that has entered us is not being blocked by anything psycho-spiritually inside of us and can now spill out into the world, radiating our light into the world, but also giving us our yellow brick road, giving us our illumined path. And that is the equivalent, I say, of following our star or following our North Star. And you're following your North Star, it's good sailing. Oh no, another blockage. Okay, well that's still part of this work. We've got to clear the blockage and let that light keep flowing out. That's our only job, is to make sure nothing gets in the way of that light. Okay? And even when it's painful, even when there's something we've got to look at that we don't want to look at, we've got to look at it. We've got to do the work. We've got to make the adjustments. We've got to learn and grow. Okay? So the 3 of Pentacles in the environment, this is work. It's basically saying if you work it will work. If you work it, it'll work. So it's saying get back to it. Start filing down the teeth of the key until it will fit in the lock. Figure out what it is that we need to do and do something. Okay? Doing something is better than doing nothing. This is cooperation between our body, our heart, and our mind. This is our blood, sweat, and tears. Okay? This is our intuition, our conscious mind, our instinct and our intuition and our conscious mind all functioning together. Okay. This is perhaps cooperation with others in your environment. Okay. If this is a relationship issue, it's basically saying that we've got to work on it, and we can get the celebration. If we work it, it'll work. We may not know what to do. Well, we try, we make more mistakes, and we keep trying. And that is the process we see going up the path of the serpent. If you're following your star, you try something, right? You do the work, and based on the results of that, were the effects, right? It's a scientific experiment. You do something, you do the work. Whatever the result is, you make little adjustments, right? That's literally the name of the card. You make little adjustments, and then you go and you try it again, because that means that you've grown, you've learned something. And we're back in the lab doing more experimentation. But this is not the wild and crazy experimentation of a Princess of Wands, which is just losing interest over here, so I'm going to go do something over here. It's not the Princess of Cups who is saying, I'm bored, or it's not fun anymore, it doesn't feel good, I'm going to go do something that feels better. No, this is a Princess of Swords. It's giving ourselves, acknowledging consciously, mentally, with our thoughts, telling ourselves that it's okay for me to try something new and fail at it. That means that I'm doing something. That means that I'm growing. That means that I'm making progress. If I'm rethinking something and then I'm trying it again, and okay, that didn't work, then I figures maybe, okay, I'll do this. And then I try that, and maybe it does work. Maybe it doesn't work again, but we're growing through the process. The Princess of Swords reminds us that it's okay for us to make mistakes. It's okay for us to fail. We don't have to be launched back here into this whole history of storms, right? We don't have to land right back here again. We can land here. We can say, okay, I'm not at my successful joy, celebration, and jubilation yet, but I'm not in the middle of the storm. I'm okay. I'm in between, and that's all right. And I'm going to apply I'm going to apply whatever I've learned to this problem. I'm going to work it, make adjustments, and keep working it because I'm following my star. It's kind of like this is my responsibility. And the adjustment card is the discernment. For one, it's how much weight we give to each voice in our head. How much weight do you give that voice that says, I'm a failure, I suck, I can't do this? Maybe that's one voice out of 1,000. Maybe that's, for you, maybe that's the 99 or 999. I should have just went with 100. Maybe that's the 999 voices out of 1,000. Okay? But let's not give those negative voices that much weight. Let's put all the weight in this, in the confidence, in the fire. We've got to keep the fire going because we need the energy to fuel this whole thing. And if we don't have this kind of, it's motivation or enthusiasm, but we don't expect ourselves to be completely just, over the moon joyful every time I failed at it. Well, that's okay. Here I am just kind of waking up, jumping out of bed the next morning, ready to go. It doesn't work that way. I saw a meme the other day. It was the motivation meme, right? And motivation is like this. It's one big jump and then a smaller jump, smaller jump, smaller, until nothing. Right? Consistency is the key. Consistency is medium jump, medium jump, medium jump, medium jump, all the way down. See, our motivation, our excitement, which is this card, will diminish over time. At first, it's like we're gung-ho, we can't wait. And then, I got to do another, I got to do it again. Oh, I got to do it again. Pretty soon, it's like, nah, never mind, right? Never mind. So instead of having that kind of motivation, what we need is consistency. And so we're transforming the knight here into the prince of wands, I think. Maybe that'll be the mystery card. Well, maybe we should take a look. Yeah. I want some, either I want either the prince, or in this case it would be the king of wands, would be a fixed fire energy. Instead of this cardinal fire, which is a big leap at the beginning and then diminishes, the prince is going to be consistent effort over time until we reach the breakthrough, until we get the results that we're after. So either that, or I just want to see the results. I just want to see the 6. The 6 of Pentacles. We have a 5, we got a 7. Where the heck is the 6? If you have an idea, put it in the comments. Oh, it's a 6. Yeah, it's a 6. I'll ring the bell once. It's a 6 of Cups. And to me, this is the this is the joy. This is that we're connecting. It's not just that, physically we're getting the results that we wanted, but we're getting the joy, the pleasure, the relief, the harmony and tranquility of what the result is doing for us, right, emotionally. So I like that we kind of are, we're having we have the optimism. We know we're going forward into this celebration, and that really that's a confirmation that the physical results, getting the 6 of Pentacles, is going to make you feel the 6 of Cups, right? So it's still a 6. It's still the harmony of the thing, the success, the victory, right? The victory of doing the thing and having the result that you wanted, This is the feeling that results from that. That makes sense? And to me, this also has the connotation of a community, of something happening together with other people. And it could be just between the two of yous. It could be a larger group of people, but I do feel that there is a need for kind of connecting with other people here, of kind of networking or like putting our minds together, you know, that maybe part of the approach, part of the strategy for success is going to be to find the right teammate. Okay, or it's kind of saying that when you do achieve your victory here, your success and your pleasure, right? And really the sixes, we think of all the sixes, right? Six of Wands, victory. Just that confidence that I've done it, right? And of course we have the Six of Cups, the pleasure of knowing that we've done it, yeah. And the Six of Swords, of course, right? The scientific approach, the balanced mind, the harmony that says I need to keep doing it and reformulating how I'm doing it until I find the right strategy, the right technique, the right approach. And the Six of Pentacles, of course, is just the physical object that is the result of it, right? And I wonder if this is like when you get this big win, when this works, when this breakthrough happens, make sure that you celebrate it with your pets, your plants, your people, right? Make sure that you really are using this to help you connect with other people. It's kind of maybe you've been feeling a little bit more sequestered lately as you work on this problem. Allow yourself to connect and bond with your people. Yeah, as a reminder to share the win with the people closest to you. Okay. I like this reading for you. I think this is a really important message. We're going to do an extended reading too. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Sagittarius on Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.